Jacob, Jonathan, David, Micah, Silas, Gideon, Samuel, Daniel, Jonah, and the whale.
Well, these are just some of the boys from the Bible's pages who put their trust in God, and down through the ages, generations have heard these heroes' tales. From these ordinary people came extraordinary things. Everyday people like me. And if God don't have no favorites, then you have to agree there is an unlikely hero in me.
Let's start with Joshua, the strong and courageous. Right on the land and did something outrageous. He knew that God could help them take the land.
Well, next on our list is Nehemiah. He took that wall and built it higher and higher. He made Jerusalem a mighty city once again.
Let's talk about Elijah as a father with a shoulder with fire. Heard a still small voice calling out his name.
Well, their stories seem to start the same way. An ordinary life, but they chose to obey. Unlikely heroes is what they all became. From these ordinary people came extraordinary things. Everyday people like me. And if God don't have no favorites, then you have to agree there is an unlikely hero in me. That could be ordinary. That could be extraordinary things. We got imagine just what we could be. That could be you. That could be me. God's looking for someone who has faith to believe. From these ordinary people.
Joshua 1 verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Whoa, oh, do not be afraid, no, no, don't be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Whoa, oh, do not be afraid, no, no, don't be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. Joshua 1 verse 9.
Hi everyone, it's me, Amy. Can you see me?
Yes?
Shh. Not so loud. I'm hiding to surprise Max. Do you think he'll see me here?
No, not at all.
He has snuck up on me so many times. I thought I'd try and give him a surprise. He won't suspect a thing. And he could be here any minute. What's that? Phew, false alarm. I'm on a secret mission, just like the heroes who put their lives in danger to save the day.
Like in the movies?
Yes, but also in real life. There are people on a mission right now, having adventures all around the world, just like the spies in the Bible who help God's people.
Spies in the Bible?
Yes, and they had a very important job to do, to help their people. They had to scout out a new and scary land.
They were on a mission from God?
I guess you could say that. And they had to be extra sneaky, just like me right now. I wonder where Max is. This will be great.
What will be great?
You surprised me, Max.
Yes, it looks like I did.
Well, I was on a mission to surprise you. But it looks like you beat me to it.
You got a big fright, Amy.
And here I was, thinking I was being the sneaky one. Being a spy is hard work. You have to stay on your toes at all times.
On your toes?
Yes, ready to go and alert.
Like you were just then?
Haha, Max. Now, I was just kidding around, and it's fun to pretend. But for many people, it's not make-believe. It's real, a real-life mission.
A mission? That sounds exciting.
And sometimes, like in the Bible, dangerous.
Ooh.
All through the Bible, God used unlikely heroes, ordinary people, just like you and me, who were able to be part of some amazing things God was doing on the earth. Now, no one goes looking for danger, but just like the spies in our Bible story, what God asked them to do was scary.
They had a reason to put themselves in danger. Did you have a reason to surprise me, Amy?
Well, I thought it'd be funny, I guess. But it seems like you are the best spy here today. He really is good.
Imagine a huge, nation-sized group of people standing on one side of a border, getting ready to enter a new land. But the people are nervous, so their leader decides to gather a group of secret agents, spies, to check out this new country, to see if it's as good as they have heard. It happened early on in the Bible, with the nation of Israel and its leader Moses. These spies spent 40 days scouting out the land, and they came back with a huge cluster of grapes, saying, "Check out the size of these grapes! You should see the size of the people who eat them! They're giants! No way we can beat them. We may as well go back to Egypt." Now, Egypt was the land of their slavery, so this is not the result Moses was hoping for at all. But there were two young men with courage who had a different opinion. Joshua and his friend Caleb were the only spies that thought the land was great. They believed if God was with them, the people of Israel would be very blessed in the land. The other spies weren't convinced and were scared to go back. In fact, they passed on their fear to the people of Israel, who refused to move into the land. Seeing the attitude of the Israelites, God decided that this particular generation would not reach the promised land. 40 years later, the people are back, ready to enter the promised land. By now, Moses is very old, and God has told him that he will soon die, and it's time to appoint a new leader of Israel. God saw Joshua's heart, his courage, and chose him. God spoke to Joshua, saying, "Be strong and brave. Be careful to do everything my servant Moses taught you. Never stop reading the book of the law he gave you. Day and night you must think about what it says. If you obey it completely, you and Israel will be able to take this land." It wasn't without its challenges, but the Lord led Joshua and the people of Israel to possess the land he had for them. There was more spying and fighting and lots of trusting in God. But in time, God, who is faithful to his word, led the people of Israel to the land he had for them. Isn't it amazing how God used this ordinary man, this unlikely hero, to see the fulfillment of a long-standing promise? You and I are just as ordinary and just as unexpected, so imagine what God can do through us.
God's people have reached the very edge of what he's promised them. They have seen just how powerful he is, rescuing them from Egypt, parting the Red Sea. But now, the camp is full of bad attitudes, which leads them spending 40 years in the wilderness. The shining light in all of this is Joshua and his friend Caleb. They are both full of courage because they wholeheartedly follow God. They had full faith and belief in God that He could defeat all of their enemies once they went into the Promised Land. I find Joshua's life very encouraging. Even though all the other grown-ups around him were afraid and worried, he stood up with courage, declaring that God would help them. Many years later, Joshua was the leader that took over from Moses himself and led his people forward to possess the land that God had promised their earlier forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Heroes have courage.
Hello, my tiny human friend.
Hi.
Ah, yes, it's so good to be back at church, no?
Church.
Yeah, but I've had a rough week.
No.
Yes. On Monday, I have porridge for breakfast. Too hot.
Hot.
Yes, on Tuesday, again, porridge for breakfast. Too cold.
Cool.
On Wednesday, porridge stolen by a girl named Goldilocks.
I like porridge.
Yes, we all like porridge, my friends. Yummy.
Some danger is fun, like the roller coaster at a theme park or a big slide at the playground. It still takes a little bit of courage to go on these rides, but we know that we're going to be okay. The Bible is full of adventures and battles and excitement, which comes from people willing to trust God and do amazing things. Joshua is such a hero to me, and hopefully now to you too.
Hello. Heroes have courage. Huh? Heroes have courage? Ah, heroes have courage.